Shalom, shalom. This is Yair from GMS Savannah, Georgia, coming with another uh, lesson. But first and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders and elder bishops of Great Millstone, which rule well, teach well, and to the arching pushing this 100% truth to four corners of the earth in sincerity, right, risking their life to do so. And shalom to the hopeful elect. And today's lesson I'm going into is with this nurse right here. We in, you know, 2026. It's early, man, and those spirits are still out there. And they're gonna continue we're gonna continue to see more and more of this right here, as the days come. It's not lighting up. It's these spirits are gonna continue to be out here. And every day you're gonna see this stuff right here coming to intuition. But right here on this article right here, it says Nurse 32 deletes her two young sons' grandmother before deleting, herself in a horror quadruple murder suicide. And it says right here, a nurse shot and deleted her two young sons and her grandmother before taking her own life in a devastating quadruple murder suicide. It says that the authorities made the grim discovery during a welfare check at the Tennessee home on January the 2nd, where four bodies were found inside. And that's one of the child, two of the kids. And it says, investigators said all of the victims suffered fatal gunshot wounds. The victims were identified as Arias Thompson 4, Isaiah Johnson 13, and their great grandmother, Evelyn Johnson 88. The boy's mother, Heather Thompson 32, was also found deleted. They say authorities said preliminary evidence suggests Heather Thompson was responsible for deletion of her sons and grandmother before succumbing, dying from suicide, from gunshot wound. Investors stress there is no evidence indicating anyone else was involved, and a motive have not been released. Public records show Heather Thompson worked as a nurse at Extension St. Thomas Three Rivers Hospital in Waverly after earning her master's degree from Walden University. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis grew emotional while addressing the tragedy. He noted he personally knew the family that they had lived in Waverly their entire lives, reference an explosion in the county that killed 16 people. Davis reflected on the impact of the close-knit community, saying, "Here again, small town America. Here again, I know these families." And it was said that, so we're going to do this. We're going to do right by them. We're going to respect them. We're going to do the right by them. And Jeremiah Thompson, the children's father, who was estranged from their mother, shared his grief publicly in an online post, writing, "I miss my sons already. Daddy still loves you. Sorry I was at work." In the aftermath of the tragedy, Thompson launched a GoFundMe to help cover funeral expenses and bring his son back to New Mexico, where he lives. And the fundraisers have raised nearly 11,000, approaching its 16,000 goal. Describing the moment he learned of his son's death, Thompson wrote, as a father, that it hurts and shattered my soul to hear my sons, Arius and Isaiah, have been taken from me and no longer with us. He added, they were just babies every second of today. I wish I could just wake up. In a updated share yesterday, the father revealed he and his sister were traveling to Tennessee to bring his boys home. Hundreds of messages poured in from offering condolence and encouragement. One supporter wrote, "Brother, I am so sorry. Stay strong. Know you are not alone. I keep your boys, you and your family in my prayer." Another added, "Bilal, I am so deeply sorry for your loss. My heart aches for you and your family, sending love and prayers. This is not the first horror suicide killing spree to happen in the USA." And it says in 2025, a 5-year-old girl ran for help after witnessing her dad shoot 3 of the family members before turning the gun on himself. The victims were later identified as the child's mom, the child's mother, Marissa Nair Roswell, 32, Grandma Sandra Gail Floggery, 71, and Aunt Alicia Leigh Fogarty, 33. They all had been at the Florida house, when Rowell launched his deadly assault at around 8 p.m. on July the 24th. Melissa's cousin later said the victim had been planning to leave her violent husband and was in the process of buying a house. Yeah, how about that? So apparently, he was an Israelite, and he said these are his kids. They look like an Israelite. That right there, hey, it's possible. Like I say, we test the spirit, not the way a child looks, but if he's an Israelite, he'll be back in the kingdom. And the mother will be too. They'll be back in, through the loins of elect of 1/3 man in the kingdom. And they'll be out of this wicked world. But I'm scriptures I'm gonna hit here, precept upon precept. Romans 2:11 say, "For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai," and that's so true. Once you understand, these scriptures, that you got to remember these spirits were here before. And a lot of times these spirits come back for judgment. Once you get and you learn these scriptures, and you get the 100% meaning, and it just open up everything for you, knowing why these things happen, because these spirits has been here before. Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love and many shall wax cold. And psychosis, just psychotic, man. For this woman, to take her children, man, she had that spirit on her, man, for deletion, and she's a nurse, never know what, and she participated in the Squid Games. You just never know, but I'm saying it's a possibility, and that's a scary thing. And like I say, she had that spirit on her, man, of wax and coal, and then she deleted herself. Ecclesiastes 39 28, Sirach 39:28 say there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which is in their fury lay on a sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of them that made them. And like I say, that's why it's no respect of persons. No, these spirits are created for vengeance. You know, So she deleted, and she ended up deleting herself. So it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. You know, it's a fearful thing, and you just see, like I say, it's in 2026, and it's still a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of deletions going on. But you got to remember, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. Paraphrase. The Lord do all the killing. And taking these spirits back to the spirit realm, because they spirits have been here before, and they came back for judgment on this side. But the Israelites, they'll be back in the kingdom, and a new body, reprogram mind, a part of the righteousness of the kingdom. And they're going to be far better off than they was here in Babylon the Great. So those spirits will be back. But it just shows you just still a lot of deletions going on early here in 2026, and it's going to continue all the way till Big Brother Yahushua and the heavenly hosts come back and crack those skies. So hey, be always praying. How long? How long? Just hope that these prophecies continue to move along and ramp up. Because we at that 250-year mark. And so hey, we just continue to pray that these prophecies speed up. So the hopeful elect can be beaten up out of here in 1/3. But I hope this is edifying to the hopeful Lamb and sheep, Kwam Yasharala, Call Allah, Yahabashim Yahushai. On to the next lesson. Shalom. Call Allah, Yahweh.